Hi there, everybody. My name is Kuda, but you can call me Potato Mommy, and welcome back or welcome to yet another episode, finally, of Chihera Sips, where basically we sit down, we have a little happy juice, and we just talk about whatever is on our minds on that particular day. In today's episode, we are going to be doing a young mom life Q&A on what exactly it really is like to be a young single mother in Zimbabwe. So basically, I'm spilling my own tea. So let's get straight into it.
Like everything is new, the sunburst flowers calling on Mondays overdue. But I caught like everything is new, the sunburst flowers calling on Mondays overdue.
Okay, so today's drink of choice is some ZIMBABWE, the original, but I just happen to be one of those people who cannot drink Savannah on its own. I can't. I'm not that strong. Clearly, I can't. It's So I've also got some lemonade to, mix it with, and yeah. Let me go get my special cup, guys. I have a special cup. I'm not an alcoholic. This is good things clear. I just like things. We're gonna do equal parts because I'm not trying to get drunk on the channel. Okay, so it's actually not full, but I still got more, so I can as well refill it later. But this is actually the first time I'm having any sort of like anything with a percentage in it since Jesse's birthday party. So it's been like a month. I've been a very good child for the past month, and I'm only drinking this nonsense now for you guys, for your viewing entertainment. I've only been drinking water and good fluids, and now I'm ruining my little good girl streak for you guys. This is why you're supposed to watch the ads, because I'm genuinely doing all this nonsense for your viewing entertainment. You could at least pay for the entertainment. Just watch an ad. Just watch an ad. Anyway, let's take our first sip. You guys can have the first sip, and cheers also. It's been a long month. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go through these questions. I'm using my brother's phone to read the questions, guys, so I don't really know how to. Okay, found them. Cool. So these are questions I got on my Instagram story. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to head on out and follow me there. And if you follow me on my Instagram, and you see me put up my question stickers, and you pass through my stories and pretend to be a ghost, shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, the first question says, how do you... Ooh, damn, you guys started. Yep, okay. How do you choose a man and handle dating? I think once you become a mom, you have to consider Jesse. Is it different from when it was just you, just Kuda? Okay, so when it comes to dating, this is probably gonna sound like, ooh, she's such a bad mom, but I genuinely do not consider my son when it comes to who to pick for a partner for myself, because I don't want to ever come into a situation where I go from one relationship to the next and things don't work out, and I'm always like, oh, I only dated this person because I felt like they were a good fit for like a father for my child, or like they would set a good example for my child. I don't want that, okay? If I go into a relationship and it doesn't work out, I want that to be on me. And if it does work out, I want it to be on me. The only thing I consider really is just whether or not I'm getting to know someone who's okay with the fact that I have a child. That's like my one thing. And that's like any person I've gotten to know, I've always said that like upfront, like, hey, by the way, I have a child. Like, just because I don't want to waste my time getting to know someone who's then gonna later tell me they're not okay with like being in a relationship with someone who's got a child and stuff like that. So I always say that like straight off the bat, so that we cut things quick if that's a no-no. Which anyway, yeah, it needs to be someone who's okay with the fact that I have a child, because personally I like love. I like being in a relationship. I'm one of those people where it's like when I genuinely care about someone, I'm not shy to show that, and it's like written all over my face. Like I can't even hide it. Once I'm really into someone, you will know I'm in a relationship. You will see them on my Instagram stories. You'll see their hand pop up left, right, and center. I'll always mention it at some point. I just become one of those people if I'm really into someone. So I wouldn't want a situation like, let's say like one day I post them on my Instagram story and then they're like, yo bro, like what are you doing? Because now they're embarrassed to have people know that they're dating me simply because I have a child. So it needs to be someone who's okay with the fact that I have a child. But then after that, it's all on me. The next question says, how can people around support their single mom friends and or sisters? This is a good question. Like I've never been asked this before, but like I personally was blessed, and I'm blessed enough to be in a situation where I've always had a very good support system, a very strong support system for my family, my friends, all of that. I've always had so much support and so much comfort and so many people to help me along and guide me and to give me the necessary advice I need and stuff like that. But I do know a lot of other single moms and young moms especially that are not in the same situation as me and are not blessed enough to have such a strong support system. And I think it's because naturally when someone has a child at a young age or they're not married or whatever, it's obviously not the ideal situation, which I can definitely agree with. I know it's facts. It's not the ideal situation. And sometimes I don't think it's that people don't love you or people don't care, but people then almost exude a tough love approach to everything, which I believe in balance, or maybe it's because that's what was practiced on me. It's like a balance of the tough love together with we will be there for you no matter what. So one thing for me is my parents, my mom especially, was definitely like straight up like, yo, this wasn't supposed to happen. But now that it's happened, we need to move. Like we need to make things work. You need to get your life together. You need to figure out what you're going to do with your life. You cannot stay stuck in a rut just because you made one mistake and now you want to throw your whole life away. Get yourself together and keep it pushing. But whatever you need along the way, I'm there for you. And that's the same like energy I got from my sisters, from my friends. It's just, yo, like this is not the ideal situation, but now that we're here, what can we do to help you along? And I think that's the best you can do. I would not want like my family or my friends to completely do everything for me, because I don't then want to become so dependent on everyone else that when I finally want to become independent, it's as if I'm starting from scratch. Like I don't know how to do anything. So I do like the fact that I do have room to still be a parent. Like I still get to parent my child. My mom doesn't do that for me. I'm the one who chooses how to reprimand Jesse. I'm the one who chooses what to do with them, X, Y, and Z. But my mom is there to guide me and support me. Same with my sisters, same with my friends. So I still do get to experience what it is to be a parent on my own, even though I'm living with my family, even though I've got all this support around me. I think that's like the best way you can support your single mom sisters, friends, whatever, is just allow them still to be a parent. Because I think it's very easy to, if you're the one who's helping to take care of the child, you feel like you should have a say in how they parent. But at the end of the day, they are the parent, and there's going to be a day when they're completely independent of you. So support them, be there for them when they need it, if you can financially or whatever. But then allow them to raise their child how they feel is best fit, if that makes sense. Yeah. I hope I'm making sense, guys. I don't think I'm drunk, so I should be fine. I'm still talking. I talk sense. Anyway, what's the one thing you really hope Jesse remembers till he's old? A lesson or memory? For me, I think it would be a memory. And what I just want is I hope my son remembers having a childhood and being a child. I've okay, I personally, my parents have been together since they were married. Like, my parents have never not been together. So I've always grown up in a family with both my parents and it being my mom and my dad. I don't have a step parent or anything like that. But I do have a lot of friends who've grown up in single parent households and who've grown up with like stepmoms or stepdads. And like one thing that they always say, one thing they always have in common is they had to grow up fast. Especially with guys, I've noticed a lot of men who grow up in single mom households feel the need to grow up so quickly. They need to become the man of the house super quickly. They almost like skip certain steps in like childhood just so that they can become like this grown man and take care of mom and take care of the household and everything really, really early. And I actually don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I personally don't want to deprive my child of a childhood simply because of the fact that I had a baby early. You know, I don't want what I did to affect him and how he grows. I want him to remember having a childhood, having fun, being silly, doing all the nonsense that other kids who grow up in two-parent households still get to have. And I hope that I never intentionally or unintentionally like strip my son of his childhood just because of the fact that like I felt the need to like push him to be all this and that, whatever. I can already tell he kind of has that in him because he's only 3, but if you see him with other 3-year-olds, it's like the degree of my son's maturity, his understanding, the way he acts. He can have fun, he can be naughty, but he knows good. Once you reach a certain point, he's like, no, don't do that. No, that's not right. No, this is being naughty. No, this is not good behavior, blah, blah, blah. And he acts like such an adult. And I'm always like, oh my goodness, how cute. Like, my son is so grown. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like maybe I don't even notice it, but I push him to be too grown sometimes because of the fact that like I feel like he needs to, because I needed to grow up quick, so he needs to grow up quick as well. But I do just hope that he remembers having a childhood and he doesn't grow up feeling like he was deprived of like those memories and like the opportunity to be silly and to have fun and to just enjoy life when he's a kid. Because if I remember my childhood, I was a mess. I was the naughtiest kid, like terrible. Every single day, I would come into the house with blood somewhere. I had to have been cut somewhere, bruised somewhere. Something had to happen. Like, I had a childhood. And I want the same. Like, you know, I don't want to deprive my child of those memories and that fun as well. What have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before you were a mom? Number 1, I never knew I could clean that much poop off of somebody else's butt before in my life. Children are disgusting. They're only cute on pictures, okay? Only in pictures. But on a more serious note, I think I've learned that one thing about me is I'm able to find the beauty and the positive in any sort of negative situation, no matter how bad it might be. Because I won't lie to you guys, when I found out I was pregnant, I thought my life was over completely. I gave up on so many things. I almost quit on myself. But to look at where I am now and how I am now, and it's only been 3 years later, it's like a drastic difference day and night. And this is only the beginning. So I can't wait. And it just shows me that I, as a person, carry the power to change my own narrative, to tell my own story, and to determine my own future. And nobody can take that away from me, baby. Period. Okay, I'm going to answer these two together because I feel like the answer for them is the same. It says, what's the best thing about being a single mom in Zim? And then the other one says, what's been the hardest thing about being a single mom in Zim? So if you ask me, the answer to this is exactly the same, which I know people will be like, wait, what? So for me, the best and worst thing about being a single mom in Zim is the society. It's the best in the sense that if you are a single mom in Zim, just because of our culture, just because of how we're raised, it's like you're a single mom on paper. You're a single mom, yeah, on paper, but in practice, you're really not. Like when they say it takes a village, it really does take a village to raise a child. And one thing about our culture is we really do put that into practice. Like there's so many people who are helping me and have helped me to raise my child to where I never really feel like I'm alone as a mom. I've got, and the thing about our culture is like the family system, the family unit just doesn't end on mom, dad, and your siblings. You've got your cousins, you've got distant relatives, you've got aunties and uncles from church, you've got people from the local grocery store, you just people you live around and stuff like that will all come together to help you to raise your child. And I won't lie to you, there's so many people who've helped me in different ways. It could be just giving me advice on how to maneuver the single mom thing. It could be financially, people who randomly come by and drop off clothes. Like I can't even tell you the number of people who will come by and be like, oh hey, I was in SA last week and I just got this for Jessie or whatever. And I'm just like, you don't need to, but people do it out of the kindness of their hearts. The number of women I think of from church who've come to me and be like, yo, like I'm a single mom too, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, you will be okay. My child is X years old now and I'm doing fine, and things like this and things like that. There's so many people who will come together and help you to be able to dig yourself out of the rut and out of that situation, to where there was no way I was ever going to stay depressed. I was ever going to stay like in the place I was when I found out I was pregnant, because I had so many people, once it did come out I was pregnant, so many people who came and were like, you know what, you can get through this, you will get through this. So many the people you look up to now have been through the same as you, but look at where they are now, like you will be fine. But in the same breath, the society is also the hardest thing to deal with, because for every person that's there wanting to help and support you, there's an equal number of people as well that will want to tear you down. The way our culture also is just that if you as a woman are not married, you're kind of just viewed as okay. And if you have a child and are not married, you're just viewed really terribly. I always say, like, I don't understand how people will talk you down for being a single mother or look down at you for being a single mother, when all I'm doing is, okay, I had a child, but I'm taking care of them. There's so many men out there who don't take care of their kids, and this is, I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Let me just put that out there now before this is taken in the wrong context. But I'm just talking about like single moms in general. There are so many single moms who are looked down upon by our society and Zimbabwean people in general, simply because of the fact that they have a child and they're not married. But the same man who got them pregnant is not taking care of that child. He doesn't live with that child, doesn't do anything for that child, and yet he doesn't get the same degree of hate that she does. This guy probably lives his life perfectly normal, knowing they've got a child who's running around the streets, knowing they've got a child who's there being taken care of by someone and not them. But the person who's actually stepping up and taking care of this child is looked at like they're a problem. And this is this, I don't get how in our culture that works, or in our minds that makes sense, but this is how our culture is. If you have a child and you're not married, especially if you have a child, not just and you're not married, if you have a child and you're not in a relationship with the person you have a child with, it's a whole and that's just, I face that so much. I'm always getting the questions of why are you not this and why are you not that and blah blah blah. The society. But we move. The next one says, are you still in good books with the baby daddy? Okay. On my channel, I do not answer any sort of baby daddy related questions. Let me just say this now. I think I've said it before, but like for all the new people and anyone who didn't know before, I don't. And it's not because of anything bad. I just don't. Whether it's good like stuff or bad stuff, I do not talk about anything to do with him, simply because I started my channel for myself and of my own accord. I didn't ask anybody Like, I didn't ask for anybody's permission to start my channel. I started this channel for me to tell my story and to share my experiences. So I don't really like to talk about other people or to share on what's going on with my relationship or whatever with other people, simply because they didn't ask to be involved with my channel and how it operates. I know that I'm okay with like coming here and talking to you guys about myself and everything, blah blah blah. That's how I am, but not everyone is like that. So even if you notice, my family as well, I don't even really show them in my vlogs and everything, because I know not everyone might be okay with it. And the few that are okay with it, even when I show, I don't show that much. Same with my friends. It's like, if Kim is here, I'll vlog with Kim 24/7, 365, because I know she doesn't care. But if I'm someone like Tinashe, I know like she's like cool with social media, but she prefers being behind the scenes. So I won't really film or anything as much when I'm around her. So this is how it is. I don't really like talking about other people. If other people would like to share their stories, they can start their own channels and share their own experiences. As for me, it's not my place to speak in somebody else's place. So I'm not trying to be rude. If you ever ask me any sort of questions to do with my child's father and I don't answer, well, me being rude, I just don't. Okay, the next one says, do you feel like you gave up on your dreams after you had Jessie? Yes, I did. I think just after I had Jessie, or even like during the time I was pregnant, I definitely did. I quit on myself. Like I said before, I basically just gave up on myself. I thought my life was coming to an end, and that was it. I thought I was just going to become another statistic. Oh yay, he's now part of the whatever percent of women that had a child under the age of 21, whatever percent of women that has a child or is a single mother, blah 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 blah. I didn't view myself highly at all then, so I just kind of quit on everything. I gave up on like what my dream was, because I felt like I'm never gonna make that happen now, you know. But then after I had Jessie and after I started thinking of how I want to live my life going forward, one thing I don't want to do is to grow up with regret. And one thing I don't want to do is to pass on any negativity I have or any bad energy I have to my child. And that includes me feeling like I didn't live up to my full potential because I have him. So I refuse personally to give up on my dreams simply because of the fact that I have a child. I don't want, like when I said I don't want my child to grow up without a childhood, to feel like he had to grow up super early because of me. So I don't want him to be here in 20 years time thinking, oh, mom didn't get to do what she wanted with her life simply because I was born. Because at the end of the day, he didn't ask to be born. At the end of the day, he didn't ask me to be reckless and get pregnant at 20. That was all on me. And if it's on me, then it's up to me to fix my situation and to rewrite my story. So now it's totally different. My biggest dream, and I think I've said this enough times, is I love, like I'm so passionate about hair care and maintenance, and I want to start my own hair care brand. And I feel like I'm definitely now putting in the steps towards it. And hopefully one day, you know, we'll be here on the channel and I'll be saying, you know, hey guys, I just wanted to introduce you guys to XXX hair products. Wait, no, that sounds like I'm sitting. What are some of the challenges you have faced being a single mom? Yeah, I think for me it was just like I said, the society, just the way people talk, the way people look at you, the stares, you know, the side eyes, the whispers, even the people you're close to. My word, if I think of the number of friends I lost when I got pregnant, that was probably the hardest thing for me, because that time I already felt so lonely, and then the people I had around me left as well. That was probably like the hardest time for me. Like, yo, not to say I blame any of those people. I was probably a really crappy person then as well, because I was super depressed about everything. I thought my life was over. I just wasn't in a good space as well, so I don't blame nobody for that thing, but that was hard. But other than that, I would say, I think probably my biggest challenge now is just that, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but I'm definitely hungry for independence. I want to be able to fully say I take care of my child 110% on my own and not have to ever rely on my parents ever for anything. So it's just putting in the necessary steps towards achieving. What keeps you going when you face difficulties in relation to being a single mom? I think what keeps me going is just me and Jessie. A lot of it definitely has to do with Jessie. At this point, I have no choice but to keep going. Like, if I stop, then what happens? If I quit, then what happens? Like, at the end of the day, Jessie does not stop growing. Every single day, he's a day older than he was the day before. And like, it's like every single day, he needs a mom. He needs someone who's present. He needs someone to take care of him. He needs someone to help him learn, to show him love, to guide him, to provide for him. So if I stop, then who's going to take over? If I give up, if I quit because things are tough, woe is me, who is going to take over? And that's probably why sometimes it's so mentally draining to be a mother and to be a single mom, because you never have someone else to really just say, you know what, for today, Jessie is yours. I need a day for myself. I need a day for my mental sanity. I need a day to get myself together. I can't do that. Even though I have so many people supporting me, they are not Jessie's parents. I can be like to my sister, yo, you know what, take care of Jessie for an hour. I want to take a walk. Or, you know, take care of Jessie for half a day. I'm going out. I'll be back. But I can never fully say, yo, I need my time for myself, because they have their own responsibilities, they have their own kids, they have their own stuff to do. So that's why sometimes it can be so draining mentally to be a single parent, because you have to be in parent mode 24/7. You have to be okay enough to be there for your child all the time. So even when I'm going through the hardest times, even when I've had nights where I've cried myself to sleep, times when I've been sick beyond measure, times when I just felt like giving up, I've had to walk out with a smile on my face and look at my child and be okay. Because I never want him to feel like I'm not okay because he's here, or mom's not doing good because she has to watch out for me. But that in itself is like enough motivation for me to get better. I won't lie to you guys, like even if you're having the hardest day, if you wake up to one of Jessie's smiles, I kid you not, like there is no way you can stay just not feeling okay. Like this is something about my kid that just, I can't help it. Like I don't care how bad my day is going, and I don't know, like kids sense energies. I can always tell, like whenever I'm having a really hard day or a really bad day, Jessie is always extra loving that day. He will shower me with kisses. He'll be like, Mommy, I want to give you a massage. He'll hug me. Like there are nights when I always, like every night I've noticed that I feel like crap or I just can't do it, Jessie will hug me. Like the entire night, we will sleep the entire night, like our arms interlocked. He will hug me the whole night. Like I'm not gonna cry, but like just my kid is, he's everything to me, man. Like that's my baby. Like anyway guys, that's gonna be the last question I answered today. That is it of the studio. From me, Potato Mommy, that is it. I'm sending you guys love and light. Bye.